Hello everyone. Thought I'd do a second video about Grape. So here we are. This is the Grape wallet. As you can see, there are lots of tokens that have already been made by people who are looking at this thinking, okay, this is interesting. I can actually create my own token, but what else can I do with it? So as you can see from the previous video, I created Grape Test 1 just to show what Grape can actually do. And there it is. I've got the contract address, everything else. So if I go to my projects, Grape Test 1, and there we go. I've got all the information, including the contract address, the logo has been generated, etc. So the next question it's asking me is, what are the tokenomics? That's the only way they can actually create a page if you want to launch your own token. So I'm not going to launch this, but this is just gives you an idea of what kind of things you need. So firstly, key features. What makes gRPT unique, mintable, burnable? What's its roadmap? What are the tokenomics? What are the social media links? So let's just play around with the tokenomics. "25% of tokens to be held for marketing." And don't forget, this is just a test. So we're just playing around with this. Actually, what I will do further down in one of the videos is I will actually burn all the tokens just to see what it does at that point. 75% to be airdropped. Well, let's make it 70% because that leaves us 5% to play with. 5% of tokens to be used as I like. Why not? I mean, you know, we don't have to write perfect English in this. Can you also... I know we're sort of talking to AI as if it's a person, but that's just the way we are. Can you also show me the icon? And this is, don't forget, we've already deployed the token. Now that we're taking it to the next level and saying, okay, there you go. That's the icon. So what I could do is, if I wanted to, I could change the color of the grapes, etc. But let's stick with that. So other questions, roadmap, any milestones. I can create a basic one. If not, no roadmap as yet. Social media links to follow. Oh, actually, hang on. What we can do is put in the YouTube channel as the social media link. No, not. Let's go to view your channel. There we go. Copy. YouTube only. And we're going to paste that in. So it's got everything it needs. Final check, grape test 1, first token, 70% airdropped. So colours, primary purple, secondary green. Let's do primary. Purple. And let's do secondary orange. So do we want a vibrant orange, a bright energetic one? Let's do a bright energetic orange. Let's see if it works if I just copy and paste it. Don't forget, I've not done this before. I don't know how to code crypto or anything like that. I don't know how to create my own tokens. But guess what? This thing has created me a token. It's asked me things about the roadmap, which, you know, here's the thing. What humans are good at is imagining things. We have an imagination, so we can develop things and move forward. AI cannot. AI will only do the task you tell it to do. So what it's done is it's given me prompts along the way, which, just think, if you're new to this, you're probably thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. But there's no harm in having a test. I know that if you look on the Grape chain eventually, as people realize what the potential is, there's probably going to be millions of tokens out there. But just remember this, when you create a token, the question is, great, you created a token. It's a good fun thing to play with. But what else can you do? I mean, it's got no value because nobody out there knows about it. Nobody knows what it's for. It has nothing to back it. You know, it's great saying, I've made this product. You could just say you make a new car. But if it's not different to everything else that's out there, you've just made another car. And why would somebody buy it? That's the big question. You can create your crypto. But here's the thing. You can innovate. And this is something we as humans are great at. We can come up with new ideas of how blockchain can be used to create tokens for other things. You know, that's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. You might just have an idea. Open your Grape wallet, go in there and go, okay, I've got an idea. Let's put the idea into this and see what Grape can do for me. And then suddenly doors open and you'll be prompted along the way. And it will ask you certain questions. What about this? What about that? What about the legal side of things? So suddenly you've piqued a bit of interest, and it's prodded you along the way to come up with a better idea. What it's currently doing now is it's already done the tokenomics. Social media is YouTube only. It's now generating the website, and as you can see, obviously it's not going to create it in about 10 seconds. It's going to take a little bit of time. There you go, your iCO landing page is ready. Now tell me, is this possible anywhere that you know of where you can do something like this? And it should come up any second now on the right hand side. And if I want to make any changes, I can do that too. And this is a first. So you've gone from, I don't know what I'm doing, but I have an idea. Open your Grape wallet. You've created a token. You've given it some tokenomics, which you can go much further than what I did with just a test. You can then tell it to create you an ICO page. It will then give you a roadmap. You can put all the detail into the roadmap, and you can keep developing it just as you would any other project. You would develop your project until you get to a point where you're happy with it, and then you would bring it to market. And it could be absolutely anything. Could be a token for a children's nursery or any kind of idea you could come up with. Now, I'm not sure how long it takes before it actually visually shows me, but let's just go back to the dashboard, go back to the project and just see. And actually, let's ask it the question. I cannot see the iCO page. Oh, there you go. It's got a technical issue. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason why, it can't come up with a technical issue. I mean, we are telling this to do quite a lot. It's updating the preview, experience a technical issue with generating the preview. Let me try a different approach. I'll update one of the sections which should trigger an automatic preview rebuild. So not only has it told me there's an issue, but it's also found a workaround. Now just imagine, just to create your own website is a real pain. So, please deploy with a go. Let's see what it does. There's no harm in testing it, playing around with it. And don't forget, nothing is ever perfect. How many times have you gone with large companies that have major data centers and nothing works perfectly? They're always doing an update. So this is not an excuse. This just shows that in its first generation, this is interesting to watch. And it's, there's no harm in showing that it's not 100% ready yet. But guess what? This is only phase 1. Phase 2, it's going to be able to deploy NFTs, create them for you, and also give you a place where you can actually trade NFTs. So you'll own NFT exchange in a way. And the third generation is when exactly what we've just done now with creating your own tokens, launching an iCO page. What you'll also be able to do is something that is absolutely unique. I mean, this is unique in itself, but guess what's even more unique? Imagine that you thought of an idea, a concept for a game, and all you've got to do is type in how you want the game to play, what you want the characters to do, what you want it to look like, etc., etc. What happens then? Grape AI will create the game for you, including the characters. Now that I am seriously looking forward to seeing, because that's going to be a whole nother ball game. So this thing is developing over time, and some of the great features of Grape is things like the 700,000 transactions per second, which, okay, to the everyday person, it's not that important. Does it work quickly? Does it do what it needs to do? Is the question you want to be asking. And if the answer is yes, I don't think you're too bothered about whether it's got 700,000 or a billion transactions per second. Not saying that it has. But, that's just one of those things. So it is still coming up with an error. Now it could just be that my internet is playing up, which it has been on this machine, so it could just be so there we go. I'm actually going to stop the recording here and I'm going to upload this, and there's no harm in putting out there that yes, it's done what it needed to do, and as soon as it does deploy and is ready, I will then launch do another YouTube and put this out there. Go and have a look at Grape. Check out the web page, which is p3.com. grap3, there we go, .com. Read up on it, read the technical paper, look at all the information, watch all the videos, do some due diligence, just go and have a look, see what else. Ask another AI, what does it think of the Grape project? I mean, that's one of the things I did. I actually put it into Grok, which I use, and asked Grok, what do you think of this? And guess what? You can do exactly the same with your project. You could create a project, put an ICO web page up there using Grape and the AI option, and then go to somewhere like ChatGPT or Grok or any other AI and say, what do you think of this project? Is there anything else like this out there? Hey, why do all the research when you can get AI to do it all for you? You just then need to prompt it in the right direction. We're living in the world of AI. It doesn't mean that AI is taking over, because what AI cannot do is come up with new ideas. And that's the beauty of this. So I'm just going to stop the recording here and